think so. Okay, my name is Denise Degenhardt, and I will have as my content focus to increase language conventions for standard English for second grade students. The Tompkins strategy that I'm using is number 46, Venn diagrams. Good morning, girls.
Good morning.
I'm glad you're here at my table, and we're going to talk a little bit more about nouns. That's what we've been studying in class. Can anyone tell me what is a noun?
The person, place, or thing.
You're right. It is a person, place, or thing. And sometimes we can have one thing or two things, right? Our words can be either singular or plural. Those are the things that we've been working on. I would like each of you to complete this sentence with a noun. Jolene, the first sentence is, the girl and her mother went to the
church.
Good. Correct. And Jessica, the bird flew over the
tree.
You are absolutely right. Well, you've given me a noun, and today we are going to look at some poetry to find some nouns, and we're going to decide if those nouns are singular or plural. If it says just one thing or two things. So the first poetry that I have is from this wonderful book, and it's about pigeons and people. It's about birds and people. I wonder what this poetry is going to tell us. You listen and follow along as I read. The pigeon's feet are grayish red. Each time it steps, it jerks its head. It jerks its head and jerks its feet and dodges people on the street. And people dodge the pigeons too, some walking as pigeons do, except nobody jerks his head. The people swing their arms instead. Can you imagine with me just how birds walk? Don't they just sort of move their heads back and forth? Yeah, sometimes they do that. And this poetry says, you know what? Sometimes people, instead of jerking their head, they actually swing their arms. So it's making a comparison between pigeons and people. I have some highlighted words in this poetry. What is the first highlighted word that you see?
Feet.
Feet, okay. And the second?
People.
People.
And the third?
Pigeons.
Pigeons. Okay, can you tell me, is feet a plural or a singular noun?
Plural.
Plural, right. We have 2 feet or 1 foot. Good. And what about the word people? Does that mean one or more than one? More than one. 2 people or 1 person. Good. And pigeons, what about that word? Is it one or more than one? More than one. And pigeons, to make it plural, we just added an S. But with foot and feet, we completely changed that word. And also with people, it changed from person to people. So I want you to remember which words are singular and which words are plural. Now I have another poem that I'm going to give you that has some more highlighted words. Now we're going to work with those highlighted words a little bit later. But right now, I just want to read this poem to you. And you listen. It talks about, well, somebody tell me, what is the title of this poem?
Small zoo.
A small zoo. Okay. We have a lot of animals listed here, but I wonder how that fits into the title of a small zoo. You listen and then you can tell me. The squeaking mouse and the honking moose, the nesting grouse and the gandering goose, the swinging monkey and the spouting well, the kicking donkey and the crawling snail, the lumbering ox and the hopping hare, the sly old fox and the big brown bear, the snapping shark and the flying loon, the singing lark and the bold baboon, the swimming sole and the great gorilla, the digging mole and the armadillo, the kangaroo and the nibbling rat, the cockatoo and the flapping bat, the porcupine and the pollywog, the jungle lion and the croaking frog, the roaring tiger and the deer ain't here. Did you understand? What happened here? Tell me, what happened in the poem? That last line said what? Ain't
They're not
here.
They're not there?
Who's not there?
The animals?
Yes, all of the animals that they just listed. So, what does that tell us? What kind of a zoo do we have?
A little one.
A little one, or the small zoo. Absolutely right. So we have a small zoo. Means these animals aren't there. But the list of animals, again, we have some plural and some singular animals. Let's look at the first highlighted word. What is that, class? Can you tell me?
Mouse?
Mouse. Okay. And is that one or more than one?
One.
One mouse. And if we have more than one, we have two or three?
Mice.
Mice. Good. And what about goose?
Somebody in that room.
What about goose?
One.
One. And if we have more than one goose, we have?
Geese.
Geese. That's right. And ox. What about that word?
One.
One ox. And if we have more than one, we have?
Oxen.
Oxen. Absolutely. Now what about that last word that's highlighted? What is that word?
Deer?
Deer. Now is that word singular or plural? We have one deer or we have two deer. So what do we know about that word?
Goes with both.
Absolutely, it goes with both. One deer or two deer. It goes for both singular and plural. Well, there's some words in here that I'm not certain you know what it is. And so the first word I want to look at, if you have your pen, would you circle, find on the fifth line, the word hare. Would you please circle that word? Does anybody know what a hare is?
A rabbit.
A rabbit, absolutely. Okay, I brought a picture today of a hare. That hare has long ears and long legs. We've been talking about classifying animals, and that animal is a mammal. Okay, that's a hare. I want you to go down a few more lines and find the word sole, the swimming sole. Does anybody know what that is? Well, if it swims, where do you think you're going to find it?
In the water.
In the water, okay. So, take a look at this picture. What do you think it is?
Fish.
It's a fish. A sole is the name for a fish, and it's a flat fish, which means it can lie on the ocean floor, and it has two eyes on one side of its body so that it can lie down and look straight up. So a sole is a flat fish. And then right underneath that line, we see the word mole. And I brought a picture of a mole. Now a mole is a small mammal, and they dig tunnels in the yard. And it is a very small animal, and they make these tunnels. It's about 5.5 to 9 inches long, and it's very, very small. People do not like these moles in their yard. And then the last word I want you to find is pollywog. Can you find that? Someone know what a pollywog is? I bet if you see this picture, you're
I know
gonna
what
know
pollywog
what it is.
Oh.
What is it?
The tadpole.
Yes, a pollywog is another name for a tadpole. So, the hare, the sole, the mole, and the pollywog are not in this zoo.
Hmm.
Did you like that poem? Isn't that a fun
Yeah,
poem to
I
read?
like that.
Okay, we have one more that I would like you to look at. And what is the title of this poem?
Art class.
It's an art class. And I'm going to read this, and I want you to listen as I read. Keisha says my fish doesn't look like any other she's ever seen. Flowered fins, plaid scales, and the tail tie-dyed weirdo green. In this ocean, I am queen. That tail, my dear, is aquamarine. Okay, so she's in art. And how is this girl drawing her fish? What kind of patterns does she use on her fish?
Flowers.
Oh, she puts flowers on her
Flowers.
fish. What else does she put on her fish?
Plaids.
Plaids,
Scales.
yeah, plaid scales. And what about the tail of this fish? What color is it?
The different colors, tie-dyed.
Aqua.
Okay, aquamarine, which is a type of blue color. And she actually calls it a weirdo green, okay? But you know what? In art class, she can make her fish look any way that she would like. Now, this is a special kind of poem because it's a Korean poem, and it's called Siju. And in this poem, there are 3 lines, and usually there are 14 to 16 syllables in each line. So, I'm going to say the word Keisha, and I want you to count or clap with me. How many syllables do we have? Can you do that with me? Okay. Keisha. How many syllables do we have?
2.
2 syllables. What about the word fish? Fish. How many syllables?
1.
1 syllable. And that word is highlighted. So that's a noun, and we're going to discuss, is that singular or plural?
Plural.
Okay, we have 2 fish, so it could be plural. Now, Jolene, what do you think? Do you agree with her answer?
Let's say singular.
Okay, because you can also have 1 fish. And you know what? You're both right, because it can be singular and it can be plural. And fish only has 1 syllable. Let's go to the next highlighted word. What word is that?
Ocean.
Ocean.
Okay, count and clap your syllables. How many do we have? Let's say the word and then clap your syllables. Ocean. How many syllables?
2.
2 syllables, and that is also a highlighted word. Is the word ocean singular or plural? We have,
Plural. Ocean.
do you
Singular.
think, do you agree with her answer, Jolene?
Let's say singular.
Singular, 1 ocean. In this ocean, 1 ocean. If you had more than 1, we would add what letter to the end? S for oceans. But this word doesn't have an S, so it is singular. Good job. Okay, well, you have your poems in front of you. So what we're going to do is we're going to classify these. I would like each of you to take a Venn diagram. You can choose whatever color you want, and we're going to work on these together. Now take a look at the colors that you have. We have, in my case, I have a red circle and a yellow, and I put those together, and what do I get in the middle?
Orange.
Orange. Isn't that cool? So we have a red Isn't that cool? Wasn't very, okay, isn't that neat? We have a red color and a yellow, the two primary colors put together, and we have orange. Tell me, what colors do you have?
I have blue and yellow.
And what colors do those two make?
Green.
Green, okay. And Jessica, what do you have?
I also have blue and yellow.
And what color do you have in the middle?
Green.
Green. Now, compare those two together. Are they exactly the same? No. Why are they different? How are they different, Jolene?
My blue's lighter.
You have a lighter color blue. So if you have a lighter color blue and she has a darker color blue, but you have the same color of yellow, what happens to your green? Are the greens the exact same color? No, there's a little difference,
Little
isn't there?
different.
Okay, one is darker and one is lighter. Good job. Okay, so take your Venn diagram and your pen, and on your left-hand side, you're going to put an S, okay, and that means for singular. And on the right-hand side, you're going to put a P for plural. And in the middle, you're going to put a B for both. And in just a moment, you are going to take those nouns that were highlighted in our poetry, and you're going to put them in categories. Is it a singular noun? Is it a word that can be used both as singular and plural, or is it plural? That's what we're going to do in just a moment. But before you do that, let's review. What's the difference between a regular plural or an irregular plural noun? Can you differentiate between those two? Okay. I'm done.